Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. We're not number one. God is. We may not be the best, but our purpose is to lead you to the best. Jesus Christ. www.rapfestradio.com. Old school to new school. Classics to exclusives. Gospel hip-hop music and videos. Live video interviews Monday nights at 8 p.m. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Watch. Learn. Love. Support. Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We are here live on Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. Got some excitement in the room happening right now. DJ Tranzformed in the background, Conquest in the background as well. We're going to be kicking off 2 interviews tonight. We'll be here till 9 o'clock, so you have some time to tell your friends to go log on to Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com.
Log on.
Make sure you can join the chat room, and Alice is holding down the chat room. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, be sure to ask in the chat room or text them to us at 805-RAPFEST. That's 805-727-3378.
Yep, I will never remember that one.
805-RAPFEST.
805-RAPFEST, that's it.
You say that, I'll say the numbers.
Call them. 805-RAPFEST.
727-3378. We're going to kick off this show.
We're already out of control.
With a video. Yeah, we can end now. We're going to start this show with a video by Conquest called R.A.G.E. Raise Against God's Enemies. Here on Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. We're coming back with a live interview with Conquest. Check it out.
Yo.
Right now. Why did you so mean? Shut up! Jay! Shut up! Jay, what are you doing? What are you doing? Jay! Stop! Jay! Stop! Jay! Come on, man! Stop! I want to hear nothing! I want to hear nothing! You think it's funny? You think it's funny? Chill! Yo! Shut up! You need to back up off it. I know what he did. I've been there, but you do not want to do this right now. This was supposed to be my pastor? I don't want to do this right now? I'm doing this right now. I'm doing this right now.
Still on the beat, yours truly with techniques. Vengeance is his. Romans 12:19.
This is revenge against God's enemies. Through my hip-hop and rock tendencies. Know your enemy because he's a devil in disguise. This is revenge against God's enemies. Through my hip-hop and rock tendencies. Know your enemy because he's a devil in disguise.
I apologize in advance for the graphic nature of the song now taking center stage called R.A.G.E. Columbine wasn't chance, it was that behavior of some kids who were fueled by rage in a 12 gauge. Angst that annihilated and hurt the innocent, sought their revenge for the whole world to witness it. Citizens left for dead, same thing Virginia Tech. Might have been different if God was given their revenge. So I'll complain and whine as God's son. You rather me do that online than with a shotgun. Lose my beautiful mind with screws loose to it. Screaming 4-letter words and adding you to it. This ain't venting, this is verbally exercising negative tension. And it's not done to get attention. This ain't a vent, it's vocal escapism. Free from the bondage that crucifies and rapes millions. Yeah.
This is revenge against God's enemies. Through my hip-hop and rock tendencies. Know your enemy because he's a devil in disguise. This is revenge against God's enemies. Through my hip-hop and rock tendencies. Know your enemy because he's a devil in disguise.
Yeah, speaking of rape, I was almost made victim by a pastor whose stature was made for weightlifting. But I refuse to give the enemy leg room to send me another pastor, show me porn in his bedroom. He stood above my bed wearing nothing but a robe. I've often fantasized about the cutting of his throat, for his joint wide open. Be like, wasn't I provoked to kill this man of God before he's coming with a stroke? Thank God for being there to give me something of a hope, or else Christianity would be nothing but a joke. Take note, my revenge is that Christ is real still in spite of that circumstance. Now I'm quoting Kill Bill. Revenge is a dish best served cold to an enemy of God that will wreck your soul. Dude, I'm Dave Grohl. You thought it was the end when my loss was Nirvana for a Foo Fighters revenge.
This is revenge against God's enemies. Through my hip-hop rock tendencies. Know your enemy because he's a devil in disguise. This is revenge against God's enemies. Through my hip-hop rock tendencies. Know your enemy because he's a devil in disguise.
This is hard, but you should listen. If Kurt Franklin said hello to fear, I'm Green Day screaming good riddance. And I'm having the time of my life, dying to Christ. It broadens my horizons to right before my life meets a tragic ruin. And you're at my grave saying, yo, Jay was a sweetheart, what happened to him? And why he let those phantoms screw him? Saying he wants to shoot himself? There's a gun, I'll hand it to him. Cause the devil's relentless, you gotta hand it to him. He'll tempt you with every sin and then he'll stand accuse it. You gotta understand, he'll take you out before you even think to stand. He doesn't give a damn. Dude, he'll use your ex's depression and have you next in succession. With regrets and obsessions, have your new love crying, cause you're raging for what? My revenge for giving her and not hating her guts.
This is revenge against God's enemies. Through my hip-hop and rock tendencies. Know your enemy because he's a devil in disguise. This is revenge against God's enemies. Through my hip-hop and rock tendencies. Know your enemy because he's a devil in disguise.
You're listening to Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com.
Yo, we're back.
We are back. We are back.
Live.
We are live too. We are live on Rapfest Radio. That was R.A.G.E by my man Conquest here. Conquest has joined us, and you know what we got to do for that? I don't know what we got to do, but I have. There we go. I gotta make sure.
That was like the,
DJ Tranzformed in the house.
Was that like a reggae? Was that like a reggae horn because I got dreads? Was that
no.
That was that it?
That's the
reggaeton.
Reggaeton. Oh. Right. So I got them confused.
Yeah.
Got you.
And since you're in the Bronx, I could have done stuff like this. No, but yeah, we're excited. We're here at Rapfest Radio today. We have
he let out a gunshot. Ladies and gentlemen,
Jason, also known as Conquest, is here with us.
What's up, y'all?
You just played your video.
Amen.
Well, you know, for people that may not know you, just introduce yourself real quick, and then we'll go into some talk.
Real quick, my name is Jason Andre Roberts. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, moved to these here United States of America in '96, and I go by the name of Conquest. His friends affectionately call me Dreadlock Slim, and yeah, anything else we'll cover in the next couple of minutes.
Dreadlock Slim.
Dreadlock Slim.
Yeah.
I saw that email. I told her, I was like, wait, did you realize his email was Dreadlock Slim?
With 3 M's too.
Yeah, Slim.
Slim. It was actually because I was part of a group that formed with Mahogany Jones and another brother by the name of Simeon, and I had this thing about, you know, ministry motivated musicians. You know what I'm saying? As far as like we're not just making music just for the sake of making music. It's like our ministry motivates what we do. So I guess that's those 3 M's kind of like slipped in there.
Right. So you have an album that's coming out tomorrow.
Yes.
So that's what we really want to talk about here tonight.
Definitely.
Tell us a little bit about the album, the title, what inspired the title, and what to expect this time around.
Well, Radical Departure is out of all the albums I've done, this is the 5th one. But it feels like a debut because Radical Departure has so many multiple meanings to it. It's just the whole idea of, I think the central thing is the whole idea of radically departing from what I once knew as my life into something new. You know, sometimes as ministry and as artists and then just as people, you know, we find ourselves kind of like locked into the same sort of thinking and making the same type of mistakes and the same type of stuff that you're just like trapped in, you know, and at some point you just gotta like radically say this has to stop. Like on the first song, of the album, which is the title track, Radical Departure, aka Conquest Must Die, it's like really me taking you into my life, you know, just like a day in the life. This is my starting point, you know, I'm the quote unquote starving artist going forth for the Lord, looking at all my insecurities, looking at all my flaws, looking at the friendships that have come and gone, the relationships I was in that broke up and ended, and all these things, and just saying, yo, I need to change. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like me retelling the story, almost kind of like how Christopher Nolan did the whole Batman series over. You know, like how when Batman first came out with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, that was cool. Then like by the 4th episode, it got real cartoonish. You know what I'm saying? So Christopher Nolan took it and just revamped it and made it more visceral, more real, more, you know what I'm saying, more authentic to the character. And I felt like this was just my time to kind of like just start over with a just fresh start. And lastly, as far as the music, I mean, I think R.A.G.E is indicative of that, where, you know, it's like the East Coast hip-hop element, but you know, I'm a big rock fan. I grew up on everything from Led Zeppelin to The Who to AC/DC to Metallica to even stuff I listen to now like Emery and August Burns Red, and you know, and I wanted to infuse that too because that's part of my character. You know, it's like, I mean, shoot, I mean, Bert, you would know Run DMC and Aerosmith, Public Enemy and Anthrax, those things are synonymous with each other, so why not explore those things, especially if it's something that's part of my character. So all those things kind of like fall together for the album. Really. Awesome.
So this is your 5th album.
Yeah.
So what's going to be different for those people that are following Conquest since album 1? Mm-hmm. What should we expect different from album 1 to this one?
Honesty. Like it's way...
The first one wasn't honest?
Well, I mean, put it to you like this. I think it was Conquest on restraints. Like, and I'm sure maybe a lot of Christian artists could come into this where they feel like they almost like paint by numbers as far as like what type of music they should be producing as a Christian artist. Like I remember going to a Corey Red and Precise album release for Resistance and Futile, and I remember Frankie Cutlass DJing for that event and talking about, you rappers are not rappers, you are ministers, y'all are not artists. And I'm standing there like, I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? It's I do ministry, but I'm an artist too. So I think in the first 3 albums, not saying, or 4 albums, not saying that they weren't real, but I don't think they were as much of who I am and who God created me to be. I don't think those albums really truly reflected that, because it's like sometimes you get caught up in, well, if I make this type of song, maybe this radio station will accept me, or maybe I'll be accepted for Rap Fest, or maybe I'll do this, and you start to kind of like do these little weird things.
So you were catering more towards industry in your first 4 albums?
I would say that, though there's certain things about my personality as a musician that still came out anyway, because you can't help that, but I think they may have subliminally played a part in my mind, whereas when I went into this new project, I was just like, look, the hinges are coming off. This is it. And especially with so much things I needed to talk about from just watching everything from, I mean, this album covers it all. It's political, it talks about depression, it talks about sexual sins, you know what I'm saying? It talks about racism, it talks about the need for evangelism greater in a pop culture that's just so against what we are about. You know, it's just everything. I really almost treated this like, well, if I have $100, I'm gonna use this $100, go totally all out. Like, this is just my last album. Like, if I don't ever make another album again, I'm gonna say what I need to say, and I think that's the attitude that most artists should go in. Like, don't ever think, well, you know, I'm gonna save this for now because I'll probably say it later. You may not have a later. No, you know, tomorrow is not promised. You know, and if God puts it on your heart to speak on certain things right at that particular moment, speak on it. You know, like, how many suicides have we had over the last 2 years? Junior Seau, DJ Primo, who's part of our Christian community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on Twitter all the time and I see people dealing with depression, dealing with self-esteem issues, dealing with, you know, randomly talking about, I don't like how I look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? And just giving that vibe. And I feel like there needs to be more music talking about this, because that's the stuff that we sweep under the rug, and plus I go through it. You know?
So this album, who do you expect the biggest response from, and what kind of response? The Christian in the church, or the person that's unchurched?
I think a bit of both, you know, because I made sure that I was speaking to both sides. I mean, I know we always say that, you know, I make my music for the streets. Nah, not really. You kind of like, again, you do a lot for what you hope the church will accept. But nah, man, I wanted to be as honest as I can be, so that people understand that, wow, Jason is not perfect. Let's not hold on to him. Let's get to this guy that he's talking about. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, there's a song on the album called Black Hole, and I talk about the fact that I'm dealing with loneliness, I'm not with anyone, and I'm indulging in sexual things I shouldn't be indulging with. And then I'm also talking about the fact that how this is also tying into the fact that I'm missing Brian Smith, who passed away. Like that, it's one verse, and I'm just talking about it all, just laying it out, because, you know, there's people who are still dealing with the fact that, you know, I got a sister who hits me up because she's still grieving her mom who died 3 years ago, and she's saved. You know what I'm saying? And she's still having a hard time.
Well, I think even if you're saved, even if the person you lost is saved, you'll still grieve.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. But sometimes some people don't have the proper mechanics to deal with it.
What are the proper mechanics?
Well, I mean, it's a combination of things. It's like, I mean, every situation is different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if that person has people around her, surrounding her and helping her through that grieving process. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, some people might feel like they don't have anybody in this situation that really understands. You know what I'm saying? That is like, nah, you don't know what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? So I keep those type of people in mind, and it's also challenging me to be real about myself. Like, if there's one scripture I would say that really inspired a lot of this album, or one book, is Romans 12. Like, if you look at Romans 12, or you look at Romans period, Romans is one of those books that will really challenge you as far as your walk. Like, this is your blueprint to how, you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing in Romans 12 that stuck out to me was the whole idea of do not repay evil with evil. Repay evil with good. Sounds real easy, but for a lot of us, that's really hard to do. That's a sacrifice. That's like, because, you know, if somebody crosses you one too many times, you kind of just want to, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I really look at things like that, and I backtrack to certain things, and I'm just like, yeah, man, that's really what it is, and it's not easy to do. Like, even R.A.G.E, the song I talk about, that the video just played, you know, I talk about the whole idea of being attacked, or almost sexually attacked by a pastor, and how that song showed me, how that situation showed me where, like, you know, Romans 12:19 really had to come into play, because I could have been like, oh man, this dude came at me, I'm good. Church, I'm good. Jesus, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And luckily God's hand was so strong in me, even at that time, even though I wasn't even as nearly as mature as I may be now, that, you know, like, my revenge is the fact that I'm still serving Christ, even in spite of that. Because that was the enemy saying, yeah, man, look at what this dude did to you, or almost tried to do it to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's those type of things, man, that I really wanted to kind of, like, really concentrate and really talk about. Like, the album has its peaks and valleys. There's love on there, there's lighter moments, but I wanted the album to be very balanced out and just really be a sign of the time.
Someone in the chat room was asking, is the album coming out tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is it free?
No.
It's not free. Save up your money, buy it.
I mean, truth be told, I would love, I mean, if anybody's going to my Bandcamp, a lot of my music are name your price, and a lot of my music on Bandcamp right now is free, really, honestly. This project, I feel like it's worth it. I definitely spent a lot of money on it.
You said you spent $100. You said it.
For one session.
Rewind.
Yeah, that was a theory.
Well, your theory's been proved. Good job for $100.
Yeah, you know.
We're listening.
I think it's definitely worth it. You know, like, you have your choice, man. Like, the way Bandcamp, because it'll be on iTunes on December 4th, but the way Bandcamp is set up, man, you know, you like the whole album, get the whole thing. You like 2 songs, get it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? As long as there's something on there that you feel like, all right, this is my song, this is my soundtrack, God uses this to speak to me. And, yeah, you know, real proud.
You have any features on this album?
None.
Why not?
Man, like, it's real personal, you know. I think for future singles, I will definitely put them out because I've released certain songs as singles, and I do want to collaborate with people. I'm not one of those people that's like, I don't want to rock with nobody. That's never been the problem. Sometimes I feel like, do people want to rock with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of one of those things. But you know, for hip hop, man, and I tweeted this earlier. So much thing is the emphasis is so much on the feature. Who you got on it? What about the artist? Like, you don't ask Adele, who's featured on your album, Adele? I just want to hear Adele, you know?
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is? I think, and this could be a
controversial point. We're here for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do.
You know, we're not. No. We're not here to cause controversy, but we're here to bring out points that may seem controversial and hopefully bring light and
and understanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many ways I can answer that question. I think sometimes people feel like especially depending on who they get on their album, they'll make it better, or they'll bring more notoriety to it, which then kind of leads to sometimes false relationships starting to build, where you start to buddy up with people who you probably wouldn't buddy up with because of who they are or who he or she is and all that types of stuff. Like, for me, when it comes to collaborations, man, I don't care who you are, as long as, and that's everything on everything I love, because I'm about making good music as long as the person has a heart for the Lord, has a heart to serve, and is talented. You know what I'm saying? Like, for every not so great artist that blows up, there's somebody who's really talented that nobody knows about. You know, but I think a lot of times people feel like, hey man, if I get, I don't know, Lecrae or D-Mob or whoever, it'll make my album more worth something.
Okay, so using that, I'll put in my 58 cents.
Go ahead.
I don't put in 2 cents. I always go like 58 all the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to get people on your album so that people could buy it, you shouldn't be an artist. That's it. Mm. If I need to put Lecrae on a song so people can listen to me, then you know what? Let me just give that money to Lecrae and let him keep doing what he's doing.
Right. And then half the time when you do give, sometimes, you know, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I'm just taking it from experiences and conversations I've overheard. You know, sometimes you give all this money to an artist, and I'm not saying that they're not worth it in certain cases, but sometimes it's like you spend all this money on getting this big feature. That big feature isn't necessarily promoting your record, first of all. And you know, all that stuff, you spent all this money on one song that's probably going to end up as a free download on Rapzilla anyway. and then you're not putting money towards your full, I mean, you know, that's really what it is, you know.
Okay, sorry. My head's going to explode.
Sorry.
No, it's good. There's so many things. If you're spending money on an artist to be featured on your album, it's because you love that artist.
Right.
So you're spending money for people to hear who you love. You're still not spending money for people to listen to you. You know, and so a collaboration is a relationship.
Right.
You know? But naturally, if I had $15,000, I'd have Jay-Z rock 8 bars on my next song, and sure, everybody's gonna buy it because they can't believe Jay-Z's rocking a song with Bert.
Right.
Jay-Z couldn't care less about it because he got paid.
Right.
So if you're paying an artist to do a collaboration with you, we can't mention or say or even assume that they're gonna try to promote it.
Right.
They got paid. I go to work every day. I don't go tell you I was at work today.
Right.
They're paying me regardless. I'm showing up. You pay me, I do my 8 bars, 16 bars, 32 bars, whatever you're paying me for.
Right.
It's done. Put it in my collection, and if they like the album, they'll say appeared on this album. If not, they'll just let it go because they got paid anyway.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. That's my collaboration.
That's your thesis for the day.
Well, that's my short version because you all ain't ready for the real me. So go ahead.
So we've been talking about the album. Someone asked, is this album a mixtape or a producer made the beat? So assuming that this is, you know, a full original.
Yeah, it's a full original body of work. And
probably say like who you work.
Oh yeah. I was just about to get into that. the majority of the album was actually produced by someone you know, Daniel Steele. He did a good fair amount of it.
Storytellers?
Yeah, Steele actually produced R.A.G.E. and about half the album. Another guy, Roberto.
He plays on it?
Oh yeah, he man.
Phenomenal drummer.
Listen, man, Steele. The cool thing about this album is that Steele shows a lot of his range as a producer on this album, because he'll do something very sample choppy like a R.A.G.E., and then he'll play something very. He's going crazy on the keys. Like there's a song on the album called "Concealed Weapon." And when we first recorded it, it was a sample. But it was a sample loop. And I was like, dude, for a song as heavy as Concealed Weapon, we need to go Stevie Wonder on this. We need to pull out the chords. And I watched this dude produce this song from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Playing the whole thing, everything, the drums. He's so dope.
Yeah, he is.
And just a great, humble guy, period. You know what I'm saying? Just a great lover of the Lord. And you know,
Daniel Steele's a great guy.
Yeah.
Looks like Biggie plays drums like Quest.
Right, exactly. So Daniel Steele produced on it. My man Quasi Beats, he's from the UK. He just reached out as a fan. You know, he produced one track on it. My man Roberto Torres, aka Top Rank, he's from actually Racine, Michigan, and he's a pastor. And he's doing work with guys like Dre Marshall, Say that he's actually my executive producer. He's actually my partner in like my business. Yeah, in essence, my business partner, and just the guy who I get really good counsel and keep accountable with. That's my guy. And I think the last person, who am I forgetting? Punchline Woods, C Woods from Connecticut. He produced the track. Dag, I feel like I'm forgetting one person.
So there are collaborations, and it's on the production.
Yeah, it's on the production end, definitely.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, also, I can't forget my man DJ Actual. He's a DJ. He's from Vegas. He's a turntablist, incredible. He scratches on the track that Quasi Beats produced on, called The Machinist. And yeah, great guy.
Awesome. Another question from the chat room.
Sure.
Who is your favorite artist in New York?
Hey, you don't have to say me because I'm sitting here. You can feel free to.
Do I have to give one answer?
Pick somebody.
Well, I mean,
yeah, just one answer.
Says one. Yeah. Artist. Yeah.
Everybody else will tweet him later.
Yeah.
At Radical on Fire. Yeah.
Woo! Dag, there's a lot of names I can mention. I even mentioned on the album, but you know who I mean, we were talking about him earlier. One person I honestly, if I have to just pick one, I'm gonna have to go with Malachi the Truth. Mainly for a couple of reasons. Just the heart and the passion is there, as far as just like his delivery on stage and just delivery in his music. His last album, though he calls it a mixtape, it's an album. You know, that's just Malachi though. You know, he has a lot of range as far as his writing ability. You know, he'll make something very, you know, like high energy, like an LIE. That's his new single coming out, by the way. And he'll do something very introspective, like the video he made for "Pray for My City." You know what I'm saying? Like just a lot of incredible range, and just he astounds me every time. That's why.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow, we're almost running out of time.
Oh wow!
Because we got DJ Tranzformed in the house coming up. The album is going to be available for how much on Bandcamp? If somebody
$9.99.
$9.99 on Bandcamp if you buy it.
Conquest.bandcamp.com.
If you buy it as an album, if you buy it independently, it's going to cost you a penny more, right? That's the way it works. Something like that.
Something like that.
I'm kidding. I don't know. Just, so yo, we want to end this segment with a song, Bryant's theme.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Tell us. We got like 2-3 minutes. So
okay, I'll do that quick.
Tell us about the Bryant's theme.
Bryant's theme. Obviously, it was inspired by Brian Smith, the late great Brian Smith, who passed away in 2011, August 24th. I wanted to do this song because it's actually a remake of a song I'd done before that he really liked. And obviously I talk about Brian twice on the album, but one's more somber. And if anybody knows Brian, Brian is a very jovial person, loved the Lord. And I wanted to do a song that I could do for the rest of the time I'm rapping. So I basically took those verses, added new verses, and I took the hook from his most famous song, Jesus Christ Has Entered the Building, and made that the part of the new hook for this song. And the one thing I should say, you gotta keep in mind about Brian Smith, man, was his legacy as just a person who was just a servant. I mean, you know, from your personal experience and working with him and just dealing with him from Rap Fest to just Bread Fest, you know what I'm saying? Like, just an all-around standout guy. And that you know, that's a guy that you know, that's somebody's legacy that I think we should really ingrain into our walk, as well as just like how to do it and just how to carry ourselves among ourselves and as believers.
Amen. Bryant's Theme. How many tracks on this album coming out?
14 songs.
14 songs for $9.99. Can't go wrong.
59 minutes and 46 seconds. Not too long, not too short. Wow. There you go.
Do you think he thought about this before? Yo, check it out, man. This is Bryant's Theme by Conquest here. The album drops at midnight.
Maybe even sooner.
Just go to Bandcamp or conquest.bandcamp.com, whatever that's been on the screen all night. Make sure you go there and download the album for $9.99. We're going to leave you with this song right here, Bryant's Theme by Conquest, and we're going to come back with DJ Tranzformed in the building. Breakfast Radio. Check it out.
Sharon's entourage. D Steel on them. This is for Bryant. This was his favorite. Let me explain this out the gate. My game is out to break. The brainless out to hate. My plane is out of space. I'm the unreachable star. See, Wallace reinvented with my methods, unbelievable bars. Way quicker, I ain't Biggie, I'm thinner, slimmer. Dreadlock slims, a winner with the force of cyclones and twisters. Physical inside of me, lyrical variety. Angel in the outfield, a pitiful society. Spit for your sobriety with masterpieces and mass releases. Smash your thesis with slangs, elitists, no hash reefers. When I earn stripes like your last Adidas, bang your genius, hang the weakest. Candid speeches, screaming, take a stance with Jesus. That's no secret. My face a tad behemoth. My life's a song in Christ is a classic feature. More than Nas on that main source to crack his speakers. Grab believers at a drastic pace, while Satan's turned into a basket case, trying to snatch my faith. Demoralizing with a graphic taste, setting the tone. Disciple in the zone, I'm a classic case. Sex, money, murder, not interested. I'd rather bring the word, bruh. God witnessed it. I know you think I'm rather braggadocious. Yeah, I'm braggadocious about the God I serve. Word, you haven't noticed? The poet focused over tracks ferocious. Work the corners more than roaches to smack the locust. Eating showbiz and most kids with thug overdosage. Grade was the closest to being this explosive. Y'all know my sessions are fiery, with beliefs that's a threat to society. Cause what I say is never passes. My vision's in flight, it's Top Gun, these aviator glasses. I'ma take it back to top billing, only right cause Jesus Christ has entered the building. And you can call it Bryant's Theme. The way I'm writing these streets is like a riot scene. Jesus Christ has entered the building. Jesus Christ has entered what we build. Jesus Christ has entered what we build. Jesus Christ has entered the building. I spit rhymes real desperate against the bid that's winning my censorship, stressing it. Hardcore, no question, kid. They fear the flow. I bring the code of ethics with. That's why they say I'm cocky in the skin of my own. Why you're desperate for the killers in the prison to clone. If you see me on top of raps, dominion alone. Cause I sought the most high and left religion alone. Sought the train of thought more than tourists at Penn Station. Flowing harder than forces of menstruation. It's that time of the month for rhyming so blunt. You inhale my thoughts, call it a crime if you want. Cause I should be charged with illegal gun possession. For shooting up the charts in advance with every session. Nah, you're addicts cause what I verbalize is crack. Call the gospel I traffic when you internalize the rap. My words that ride the track more than jockeys on the racehorse. What I demonstrate as I celebrate a great loss. Salute to Brian, I miss it. Code of ethics, your life was God's movie. It's time I wrote the credits and God spoke the edits as I bring these verses back. You heard it last and was like, you murdered that. For certain black, you were like, never quit or else I'll kill you. Thank God I never did. I'ma take it back to top billing, only right cause Jesus Christ has entered the building. And you can call it Bryant's Theme. The way I'm writing these streets is like a riot scene. Jesus Christ has entered the building. Jesus Christ has entered what we build. Jesus Christ has entered what we build. Jesus Christ has entered the building. Yeah, I'ma take it back to top billing, only right cause Jesus Christ has entered the building. And you can call it Bryant's Theme. The way I'm writing these streets is like a riot scene. Jesus Christ has entered the building. Jesus Christ has entered what we build. Jesus Christ has entered what we build. Jesus Christ has entered the building. Sharon's entourage. D Steel on them. This is for Bryant. This was his favorite. Let me.
Yeah, that was Bryant's theme by Conquest, produced by Daniel Steele. The album drops at midnight, maybe sooner. You had the information on the screen, so make sure you check it out. Hey, DJ Tranzformed is joining us, but right before we get into talking to him, as you see, he's mad excited. I like that whisper scream stuff.
Yeah, I should have brushed my effects.
I'm proud. Sure. I have it. Okay, some announcements. First announcement. Naturally, and I should have said this right from the beginning. We do continue praying for those people that have been affected by the hurricane in New York City. I myself was affected by not having power for 8 days. It wasn't easy. As you noticed, we didn't have Rapfest Radio for 2 weeks straight. And we almost had that show that Monday night. Yeah. I was really thinking about, we should do it. The lights went out like right before 8 o'clock. I would have been like, oh. Wow. But nonetheless, you know, there's people that have lost more than just lights. So we continue praying for them and praying that they, you know, that they're comforted and well taken care of in their communities. And there is a way that you could get involved. Pastor Bowser from Calvary Church. Calvary Church is where we held Rapfest this year. They've been going hardcore into helping out communities. Right now they're feeding communities in the Bronx every Wednesday. That's just a natural thing they're doing now, part of their new ministry for feeding the homeless. But they've taken they have a heavy burden for helping people that have been affected by the hurricane. They've been taking truckloads of material, supplies, food, water, Pampers, shoes, anything they can get their hands on to Staten Island and Rockaway, where people were really, really affected by this stuff. So they still need a lot of help, though. They have a lot of material that needs to be sorted out, taken over their volunteers. If you're looking to get involved, you're in the New York area, you can text Pastor Bowser at the following number. Make sure you write this down because we don't have it on the screen. It's 917-347-2596. That's 349-2596. That's 917-349-2596. Text them and help out. They're doing ministry stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm sure Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they're preparing everything to take out with them. So make sure you hit them up. If not, you can look them up on Facebook, Calvary Church, or go to my Facebook, Rapfest Radio, Rapfest, or Bert Bocachica, and look for Joel Bowser, Joel Bowser. He's on there and then link through there. Or send me the information. I'll send it to them, whatever you guys want to do. And definitely get involved. If you have the time, the resources, and the strength to do so, get involved. K-Drama was in town this week for a concert Friday. He called me up beforehand. Hey, Bert, I'm coming to New York. I'll be there Thursday. I want to help. What can I do? We ended up hooking him up with World Vision. You know, there's a lady from our church, Sandy Rosa, who works at World Vision, and she said, yeah, we could definitely use this help. So he was able to go there and help sort out some stuff. It's awesome.
That's a great time.
That's great to see a ministry and an artist like a K-Drama they're flying him in to do a concert. He's like, I want to help feed the people that are, you know, and that's where we're supposed to be at. So again, we continue praying for those people, and you got the number. Make sure you text Bowser or look him up on Facebook or hit us up and we'll give you the information again. Other announcements quick before we talk to you.
So this tomorrow and Wednesday we have the Urban Kingdom Youth Ministries presenting the gathering meetings where all leaders in the in the New York area, particularly in Brooklyn, tomorrow at Park Slope Christian Tabernacle. And on Wednesday, the meeting will be held in the Bronx at Calvary Church, 1010 East 174th Street. Park Slope Christian Tabernacle is 98 5th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Those meetings will start at 7:30. That's Urban Kingdom Youth Ministries. You can go urbankingdomym.com. Also, on Saturday is the Richie Righteous at the world famous ER, November 17th.
Oh, right, this one, the world
He's been pushing them, definitely looking to check that out. So November 17th, Rich Records and Richie Righteous will be at the world famous Emergency Room in Jamaica's Assembly of God. Check that out as well. Also tomorrow night in Washington Heights, Christ Crucified Fellowship is sponsoring a spoken word poetry night with True Voices TV with Sheena Lee and some other local poets. So it's going to be held at Apartment 78, and that's at 4447 Broadway, New York, 10040. Once again, it's Apartment 78. It's a lounge out in Washington Heights on 4447 Broadway, tomorrow at 7 p.m.
And also Saturday morning at Sanctuary Fellowship, there's a Harvest Festival. So we're telling you, bring all your children out. There's going to be a lot of fun games, different booths and food, and I don't remember exactly what time it starts, but it's in the morning sometime. Go to sanctuaryfellowship.org, sanctuaryfellowship.org. You'll get the details. Or go to facebook.com/tsfchurchnyc. So many announcements, things I want to say.
Email us if you have
There's
any
a lot of stuff going on.
Tweet us, we'll get you the info.
Yeah, tweet us with question marks saying, huh?
Yes.
We'll send you all the details. DJ Tranzformed in the building. Man,
this guy's a...
You guys... If you don't recognize the face, I'll put him right there in front of your face now. Rap Fest 2012. How many hours?
The endurance award goes
How many hours straight you did before you got your first break?
6.5 maybe.
6.5, 6.5 felt weird. 6.5 hours straight of DJing at Rap Fest, standing up at that, standing up with one water bottle, maybe two water bottles.
On that next time. Sorry about that.
I mean, definitely. You know how we used to give those awards? I think you got it right. The Endurance Award for Rap Fest 2012 goes to DJ Tranzformed. Man, I gotta say from now, thank you so much for that. I know I thanked you maybe a zillion times already.
Yes.
But we really appreciate it. Your being able to be there and then being able to hold it down, because naturally DJ Newman had his operation, so he couldn't go, and the other guy from the UK couldn't make it. And you didn't even hesitate. You're like, don't worry, I got it, man. And we definitely appreciate it. We also appreciate DJ P-Dog for stepping in to give you a little break, because your legs were starting to wobble there a bit.
Starting to get numb, but...
I'll let you do an official introduction of yourself to the people so they can get to know you a little bit.
Well, my name is Walter. Go by the name of DJ Tranzformed. Started DJing like in 1997. I was like a shadow with one of my friends. He was a DJ, so he was, I was going around carrying the speakers, but I was like hooked on it.
Really?
Yeah. But the first time I kind of heard DJing was back in El Salvador when I was in a carnival over there. I heard music being blended together, and I'm like, as a little kid, that caught my attention. I was like, that sounds hot, But then I came to the United States in 1990. And like I said, in '97, I got introduced into the DJing, and I used to go to a lot of house parties, and my friends, they were DJs, so I would hear them mix, and I'm like, wow, like I want to do that one day. So going to mad parties like every weekend, my brother, he decided to buy a mixer, and I had a portable CD player and the house CD player, so that's how I started.
Really?
So I started mixing without no effects or pitch blend or nothing.
No cues or nothing.
Nothing. just raw. Press play, catch the beat. So that's how I learned how to mix, and I got hooked onto it. And I didn't go to I went to school, but most of the time I was just listening to my mixes in class. I would have my headphones.
Do not do this, children.
Yeah, do not do that.
We don't condone this. Rap Fest Radio condones a great education.
This is like a testimony type thing of what he used to do.
Yeah. So, but by the grace of God, I graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
Summer school. I went to summer school, but
what song was playing when you graduated?
Actually, I was mostly into like tropical music back in the days. So I started do merengue, salsa, bachata, and that's what I mixed. I was never into hip hop actually. I did listen to it, but it wasn't my thing. Like,
right.
So I didn't get caught into like all the Tupac, Biggie. Here and there may have heard a song, but until I got saved in 2004, I got saved, and my friend gave me a bootleg CD with a whole bunch of Christian people. Some underground, Corey Ray and Precise were there, and when I heard it, I was like, wow, like I was hooked on it, just listening to it, and little by little, actually. Just continuous.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So
I'm piling up my comments for you.
So then, my wife, when I met my wife, I work in the hospital, and I met her there, and we started talking, and then she was an intern from Puerto Rico, so she went back she was here for like a couple of months, then she went back to Puerto Rico, and then we stayed in touch, and I wanted to, get to know her a little more, so,
Sure you did, of course.
So we, got together on the phone. We had this long-distance relationship, and then, she told me she was a Christian. At that time, I was in the world, just partying and smoking and drinking. And when she told me she was a Christian, I was like kind of like threw me off, like, turned off to. I was like, wow, like. But I was like, you know what? The path that I'm going right now, you know, I can say it's not gonna end, you know, in good terms, it's not gonna be nice. So I was like, maybe, you know, I can change, you know. So God used that as an instrument to get at me.
Nice.
So yeah, thank God for her, you know.
That's fine.
And then we started talking, and then she moved to New York, and I remember one day went to a party from church. You know, she started going to my church. So then went to a party, you know, a birthday party from brothers from church, and they had a DJ equipment there from my friend that used to DJ too. So like, why don't you DJ? I was like, all right, you know. So I started messing around with the music, you know, and I was like, all right. So then I'm like, you know, I could do this for the Lord, you know. So little by little, you know, I started buying my equipment and just got into Christian hip hop and started downloading music from 3H MP3, which is, you know, was Holy Culture. I used to buy a whole bunch of music albums like every day, every week, and just going on, you know, online trying to find new artists and underground people. And I remember had one Conquest albums. I remember the name, but I bought a whole bunch of stuff and, you know, just got into hip hop. And then reggaeton came in, you know, into the scene and got heavy on that too.
How is the reggaeton now though? It's kind of died out, right? In the Christian,
it's dead. You know, now
it's not even died out.
It's done. Sorry to all you reggaeton artists watching right now.
Let's talk about something else.
Here and there, you'll find something good. You know that I always try.
I like you, bro.
That's okay.
You need to come on the air once. I like that.
It's that, you know. So here and there, I'll find something good and catch him. Like, okay, you know.
What was the latest thing you probably heard though?
Well, I got the new Money Montes album. It's decent. You know.
He's actually gonna be around in a couple.
Really?
Yes,
we gotta hook up. Yep.
I think it's in December.
Got him and some other people that I never heard of, and you know.
But I think reggaeton overall is kind of like phasing out, right?
Yeah.
It's more.
No, it's more into like electronic kind of dance pop. Yeah. You know that. Yeah, popish kind of stuff.
Yeah. One of the comments that I have from everything you said there was, you know, artists will come up here and say, you know, support, buy my music, buy my music, buy my music, and basically you got saved off a bootleg CD, and I think that's hilarious, you know, because as a Christian artist, I'm like, yo, buy my music, and if it wasn't for somebody going and illegally copying music and passing it off to you, you wouldn't have been exposed to it.
I remember, guys, on that CD, I remember it had Kobe Red and Precise, R.A.G.E had a song his, Sean Slaughter, and some other dudes in there, and you know, when I heard it, I was like, wow, like their music, it helped me in my walk with Christ. You know,
wow,
it kind of helped me, and I was like, wow, like, and it blessed my life. And like people who say, oh, hip hop, you know, that's for the devil, this and that. No, it's not, because music, you know. I always tell people that music, God uses the enemy, saying, you know, he was the worship leader in heaven until he tried to be, you know, try to get
higher than God, right?
Higher than God, and God just threw him out. And what is he doing now? He's using the same music that was supposed to be meant for God to worship. He perverted it. So everybody thinks that all this music it belongs to the world. No, it belongs to God.
Yeah, the world owns nothing.
Yeah. So now we're trying to come, you know, as a DJ, I feel that I'm in a mission to as a tool. I'm a tool God is using, you know, to spread the gospel through the music.
Now, a couple of questions. One, I know you helped with Blaze Torch CD, right?
I helped him with the mixtape we dropped.
With the mixtape.
Life in Every Verse.
Right, and that was good. And somebody had asked in the chat room. I dropped the question, but I believe the question said, "Do you charge for those services?"
I do, because it's time consuming. Like I work 3 to 11, you know, I have an evening shift, and then if I have to do a mix-up, I have to stay up at night, and sometimes it takes away from my family time, and it's long nights that I have to stay up, and then it's hard work. You know, I love to do it. You know, it's a passion that I have for DJing, but you know, if someone needs help, I'll help them out.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's work. It's work. It's like anything, you know.
Yeah.
But Hey, can you make a beat for me? Yeah, it's not for free. I mean, I gotta think about it, put it together, and what.
I can stay until 4 hours trying to work on a rough draft, and then another 4 hours. It's a process, and some people.
That's a problem in the Christian community, and I'm probably gonna get penalized by this.
It's all right,
but I don't care. We have a mentality that we think everything is free.
Yeah.
We want to put something out good, but we want it for free. And we forget that scripture says that a worker is due its wages, a laborer is due its pay. So, you want to put out a good product, you want a good mixtape, or you want good production, or you want a good mix, but you're not willing to pay. So, it's like, if you're not sowing, you're not going to reap something good.
Right.
So, start sowing into these ministries. Him doing the mixtape. Yeah, good man. Yeah, he's a good man, but let's not take advantage.
Right.
He's willing to help, but let's not take advantage. There's people out there who want to help, but pull back because you offer and people want to take advantage of you.
Right.
I think all artists have to put into their mind that you have to pay for what you want. Put value into what you do and to what others do.
Right. That's a good point.
It's like I believe DJ Sean Blue. He said, "Props don't pay bills," something like that.
Yeah, I love DJ Sean Blue's tweets. He's like my favorite on Facebook because he comes up with the craziest stuff.
Yeah, dude.
But it's true, and we spoke to Sean Blue when we used to do the radio interviews, and that was one of the questions. Said, what's free in this world? It costs electricity, creativity and time. The reason you call me is because you need, that's a service. You got to pay for it. And it makes a lot of sense. And I think that's true across the board. Naturally, if there's an opportunity for a hookup, a barter, like you do this for me, I'll do this for you, then that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes that does happen. You do the mixtape for them, and you become the DJ on tour, you get paid, whatever, that works. But yeah, it's tough though. So what do you do as a Christian DJ nowadays? Are people sending you music? Do they know that you exist to send you music, or do you find yourself knocking on people's door asking for music? How does that work?
There's a lot of underground people that send me music, and now through as a member of the One Accord DJs.
Oh, nice.
I get hooked up with a lot of either albums or instrumentals, acapellas, or singles ahead of time before they even drop, and that's a blessing. That's something that I always dreamed of.
Yeah, how could people get could people get involved with One Accord DJs? Is there a website?
There's a website, though, oneaccordDJs.com. There's a form that you have to fill out, to become a member, and I didn't even know. I became they what do you call it?
They just added you to their
list?
list?
They added me to the group. Someone told me, "Oh, yo, I didn't know you were part of the One Accord." I'm like, "I know you." So I looked on on Facebook to the groups.
That's probably Manny, DJ Newman. Manny's good with that. We're hooking people up with with the resources.
So then I started linking with other DJs and getting to know them, and just seeing their work, and I'm like, okay, this is good to be part of this.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, because even as an artist, how do you to get booked for an event? You have to. The DJ, it's not like if you really have music out there. There's other people's music you're putting out there.
Yeah.
So how do you promote yourself to someone?
Well, I'll try to private message them, introduce myself and tell them what I'm doing, and then if they respond, they're like, okay, send me something I want to hear. For instance, for the video mixes, I reached out to, forgot who it was, and he like, KJ52 actually reached through Blaze Torch. He reached out to me like, I'm doing this project and this and that, and then I'm like, well, I'll do video mixes, and he's like, all right, so send me a sample. So I send him a sample, and so then, the Freestyle Fridays that he does, I did like a video mix of compilations or a couple of the freestyles that he did, and I did two sessions of those, and he liked it, and I was feeling a lot of people were liking it too.
Yeah,
so that's one
good stuff.
One way,
video mixes.
I'll send them a message. Directly talking with them.
Send them a message, or if I like their music, I'll reach out to them like, I love your music, God bless you, this and that, and just try to have a relationship.
That's what I like. That's what I want. I was hoping you would say that. It's building a relationship, because a lot of times, you know, I know a lot of DJs as well, and sometimes you hear DJs like, yo, nobody's sending me music. You know, nobody gives me free music to play. I got to go online and buy it. I'm not buying all this music. I'm like, you have to gain a relationship with people as well, and be of a character. Also, you have to be doing something. I'm not just going to send you free music because you put the letters DJ in front of your name. You know, you got to be doing something. DJ who? DJ what? I never heard of
nowadays, with all the programs going out there, you know, buy a laptop. Okay, I'm a DJ now. You know?
Right.
It takes. I mean,
there's an app for that.
iPhone.
Yeah. Everybody's a DJ. No, but that's good. What church do you worship at?
No, I worship at Freeport Bible Center in Long Island, Freeport, Long Island. I've been there since, like I said, I got saved in 2004. I've been there ever since. You know, like I said, one of my friends that he was a DJ, you know, he started going to the church first. Well, his brother, I used to DJ with his brother, he was just more like the sound man. So he started going to the church, and when I went to Puerto Rico to visit my wife and her family to meet the parents, I came back.
Tell us about that. Forget the music. I want to hear about that. I want to hear about that.
That was, you know, like I said, we were on the phone for, you know, having a relationship for maybe 6 months, maybe, I don't know, something like that. And I told her, listen, I want to go to Puerto Rico, you know, meet your parents, you know, and to see you. And she's like, wow, like, really?
A local muchacho.
And it's just, and you know, I took my vacation, you know, booked my vacation, booked the flight, went out there, met the parents, and it was nerve-wracking, but I'm going out there. I don't have no family. I'm going over there by myself.
First time?
Well, no, it was maybe the second time. So then I'm like, wow, like, go out there by myself, but, you know, God is good. You know, He had a plan, and, you know, I met the parents, fell in love with the parents, you know, and it's been a blessing, you know, the whole family, you know. People say, oh, you know, la suegra, this and that, you know. It's a relationship, you know, like anything. You got your bad moments, but at the same time, I love the lady to death, you know, and her dad and everyone, you know.
That's awesome.
But the way. Yeah, so when I came back to New York...
Sorry, we digress. That was like for us. Just
so when I came back to New York, I started going to the church. I hit up my boy, like, oh, George, still going to church? He was like, yeah, I want to go. So they had, every Friday, they have cell group meetings. So I started attending the cell groups, and, you know, I just fell in love with the Lord, and started going, you know, in the scriptures and reading and just discovering about Jesus Christ and who He was, and the plans that He has for your life, and I just fell in love with Christ, and just, you know, every Sunday, Wednesdays, Fridays, going to church. It was something I never did before. You know, I was born a Catholic, but I went to church, but it wasn't the same. You know, like that. I felt that in Puerto Rico, actually, when I gave my life to the Lord in Puerto Rico, when I went to visit her, that's where I accepted the Lord.
Oh, okay.
She invited me to church. She's like, you want to go to church? I'm like, all right, let's go. So that day, it's the awesome testimony, because it's like yesterday. So when I go to church, I'm there, and then, you know, everybody's worshiping, and I'm there, and then I'm feeling like, you know, weird, and then I just out of sudden start crying. And she's like, it's okay, you know, she was sitting next to me. She says, it's okay, you know. And then they did an altar call, and her dad, you know, asked her, you know, asked me if she wants to come to the front, you know, accept the Lord. And I, of course, you know, I went to the front and crying like a baby, but, you know, you know, it's something that the Lord had, you know, in His plans. And when I'm there, I accepted the Lord Jesus Christ. Then I came back to New York. I got baptized a couple of months, maybe a month later, I got baptized. And even here, going to the church, you know, I would cry, because it was just something that God was, you know, dealing with my heart and taking everything out. Amen. And, you know, the transformation that it was happening inside of me, and it's been awesome, man. Ever since.
Is that how you got your DJ Tranzformed name?
DJ Tranzformed, I got it from a shirt, and it said Tranzformed, and I'm like, well, I was a DJ back in the days, and I did, you know, spin music that wasn't glorifying God, and like now, you know, if I'm gonna do it for the Lord, you know, let me be transformed, you know, and do it for something positive and that's going to bring glory to God.
Nice.
I have a music question.
Yeah.
So you used to DJ in the world. In comparison, music quality with the world's DJing music and finding music in that glorifies the Lord, Christian music to DJ, is it harder or easier, or there's really no comparison?
It's hard because you know, I come from a background where, you know, party music, salsa and techno and all this, it was music that was like, wow, like, you know, and nowadays, you know, it's hard to find music that's Christian and it's going to compete to what's out there that's popular, you know. I mean, the Christian industry is changing, and where, you know, it's getting there, but we have a long way to go. Because I'll DJ at, you know, let's say private events, and people still hooked on to secular music.
You've been working on a couple mixtapes recently though, right? With some projects. You did the Mike Flowers.
I did the Mike Flowers. That was like he did like a remix of some popular pop songs that I'm at work, and you know, they play the radio and I hear this like, oh snap, this is from Mike Flowers. But I don't know what's going on. I don't listen to secular music. I don't listen to the rap because I don't want to get caught up in that, and just something that you know that I do. I don't.
Oh, I was gonna say, working with some of those projects now, what do you see is like, who is out there right now that you've been connected with on your end mixing that you feel is probably on the, you know, coming up now?
I believe.
That you're looking out for right now?
I believe that, you know, if Mike Flowers, you know, works with the right people and gets the right production and invests in his promotion, I think he got a shot to go somewhere, because
he's from
he has
upstate,
talent.
right? So.
Yeah. Other than
who else?
Who else? Who else did I work with?
So much.
So much. Because I get caught up in so many projects. Like something like today, I was supposed to be working. Well, I did. You know, the One Accord, they're having like a contest. It's like a competition.
Okay. So
10 or 15 of us, we're doing a mix and see who does it better. So I've been caught up in that. And but I don't know, man. I can't think of anyone.
But you know, I like that whole the One Accord DJs, and I know this isn't an interview about One Accord DJs, but the Christian hip hop market and the artist side, and Conquest is here, you can probably attest to that, doesn't have something like the One Accord DJs. You know, where, and I think, not for nothing, even though I know One Accord is out there, but I think even a lot of artists don't even know that One Accord exists.
No.
You know, and that's an outlet for promotion for the artist. Because if you got the right CD, track, or whatever in the hands of One Accord, there's X amount of DJs that'll receive it. If you're pushing out good quality, you have DJs that could possibly play it. That's more promotion for the artist.
I believe out here in New York, you know, that it's not well known that much, because I don't know why, you know, it's just a New York thing. I don't know.
Yeah, New York doesn't know anything.
Like we don't.
Sorry, I'm kidding.
I don't know, and I think it's more.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
It's mostly like out. I think it's mostly down south, like Miami. Miami is popping. Every Friday night there's something going on. No, just like
just
something like hip hop, like.
Oh yeah.
And.
Well, Florida's always got something happening.
Florida, even just the South, you know.
Atlanta is nonstop.
Here. Your wife, she was saying, you know, the production out here is, we need to step up our game.
And again, you know, it's sad because every interview we always end up back at the same spot. What is it that's holding us back?
Oh, actually, you know what it is? DJ Wado did an article on a blog about, you know, how come New York is not successful here hip hop is not successful here in New York, and he hit on the head with that blog, because, you know, everything is expensive here. You know, I don't think someone's gonna go try to spend mad money to do, you know, produce an album, and then you can't pay your rent because you're working on an album. Then you're gonna do, you know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna live in the car, and meanwhile you're working on an album, or you're not gonna feed your kids, you know.
Yeah, and I agree with that to a certain extent, but it goes beyond that, because it's been proved, but people even like the Wu-Tang Clan, let's go to the secular market, where their first album was produced in their basement.
Yeah.
It rocked. I think they're still independent to this day, I believe. I don't know if you know. I'm just Wu-Tang Clan. Are they still independent? Maybe they're signed, but
some are independent, some are not.
But for the most part, you know, they did it with limited resource as well. You know, and I do understand. And I think I was talking to Conquest before the interview today, and I said I think where our money falls short is not so much on the music side, but after the album's done, the promotion, the you know, putting it in the hands of those DJs or newspapers, magazines, TV shows, whatever. That's where we fall short because we don't have the know-how. You know, maybe, and I think we mentioned this on an interview before. Like when you have a machine behind you, like a Reach Records, that's already doing this, that they have the right people in place to help get you there. You know, Lecrae doesn't just end up on a song with, you know, this next person because he was doing beats in his basement. It's because there's people out there pushing, you know, that. You know, and I think that's where we fall short because we have a lot of great artists locally. You know, like you said, even that mixtape you first heard, like with Sean Slaughter and all those guys. A lot of that stuff, I'm sure Sean was rocking beats from his house at that time.
Yeah, everything was on the ground.
Corey Red's producers, I forgot their names at the time, but that was all done everything was real home base. So there is a chance for that.
You know, Malachi made a comment on the chat room where he says, you know, New York forgot how to grind.
Yeah, we gotta hustle. We gotta hustle.
How to hustle. You know, we and it goes back to the same mentality that I was saying. That free mentality. We want everything given to us. Yeah. You know, and money issues. Let me tell you something. If you're doing something that's going to honor God and it's going to lift up God, you have to have enough faith to know that God's going to provide for that. He's going to
make open doors.
And He's going to open doors for you. Yeah. You know, and we have to put our faith where it should be. Sometimes we put our faith in waiting for the record company. That's our faith. That's what we're going to do. We're going to wait for the record. Or we're putting our faith in, we got to wait for that manager to take us to the next step. Or we got to wait for that, you know, we're waiting for this and we're waiting for that. No, let's wait on the Lord and see what door the Lord opens. Let's wait on the Lord to see what path He puts on our side. So we got to shift. There has to be a shift of our focus and a shift in the way we think, and a shift in our hearts, and then God is going to start opening doors. Because if you're not making that shift and your push is to make it, why is God going to provide you with it? If your major shift in your mind is you want to make it, so you can get the deal, so you can get this. If that's your shift, I don't think God is going to bless you, because it's the wrong mindset, you know?
No, I was going to say that we've had this conversation with some local artists too, and just some local ministries that are just trying to figure out what's going on with the sound that's coming out of New York City. You know, and one of the things that we are saying that we've heard it from Bert, but now even we're, you know, the younger guys are learning it. And
what are you saying?
The other guy, you know, we're realizing that it has to start with the word. You know, it has to start there. Your foundation has to be that you're really, you know, seeing the Word of God come out of you on everything that you're doing. That it'll open those doors. That you're not just taking things because you're assuming it, but because at the point that that door opens, you know from your spirit that God is leading you in that direction. And I mean, when it comes back to, you know, the lyrics to even the production, there is good production out there. It's whether or not the communication part is there, the relationship that you talk about building with people, the understanding of being like-minded in the spirit. That's all where it has to come down to, so that album, that project, that release will make an impact. That will be able to be like, wow,
that's true.
That's where we're going.
Let me ask you then, as a DJ, as a Christian DJ, totally gave your heart to God, faithful in church, faithful with your family, love the Lord, you know what ministry is. What do you look for in a song or a CD when it falls into your hands that's going to make you say, I'm rocking this at my next event?
First, production. One. No, I want to make sure. Oh, you mean content?
Well, no, whatever you look for.
I'm very picky. You know, if it's something that's gonna compete to what's out there in you know, in the secular industry, which I already know, I don't have to listen to it. You know, I already know they're making hits out there. So if it's gonna you know, make me go crazy in the car when I'm listening to it, and the content is gonna, you know, blast me.
I can't see you going crazy, by the way.
Yeah, I go crazy. Well,
he's so calm and reserved. Every time we see him, right? He DJs an event like.
You know what it is? When I'm in my car by myself and I'm listening to a song by myself, yeah, you know, I'll go crazy. But I'm trying to come out of the shell because, you know, as a DJ, you know, the job is to move the crowd, you know, but you know, to get people, you know, moving and you know, I'm trying to break into something like that because, you know, I feel that the Lord, you know, he's taking me to another, you know, a different direction. You know, he doesn't want me to stay in my comfort zone. Nice. So even with the way I'm doing my mixes now, or the way I do a mix, I'm trying to grow and learn new techniques. I don't want to just stay in the same old thing, you know, because the world, the DJs, they're killing it out there.
Oh yeah.
You know, I tell people, you know, if we're gonna do it for the Lord, we're gonna do it in excellence. You know, we're gonna do it, you know, pull our heart and just go crazy. And if you want to be a good DJ, you gotta spend time. You gotta spend time practicing and just, you know, research and learn. Watch other DJs. Don't copy them, but, you know, just see, you know, learn from other people and then develop your own kind of style.
Yeah, and a lot of DJs don't practice. A lot of DJs don't update their music. We've had DJs come to events, and I'm like, yo, you'll need me to send you some music before the event because I don't want you playing no Mary stuff today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not no diss to Mary, but you know, before you used to play Mary, so everybody's like, yo, that's crazy, but now it's
there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Even if you're an event DJ, like you go do, you know, parties and weddings and. It doesn't matter. You need to be up to date. And that's why I like when you said that. Like, you're always online looking for something new, looking for a new artist, looking for a new sound. You have to.
If I may, I'd like to address the artists as well. I think it's our responsibility as artists to supply the DJs with those tracks. They are our test market. Yes, you don't want to leak your song too soon. Oh, it's not available yet. It's going to drop on the 14th. I won't give it to anybody till the 12th. Your loss. I think it benefits me. I'd rather go into a studio. I mean, I haven't done a song in forever, but I'd rather go into the studio, record a song, with my immediate, you know, accountability people. They'll tell me it's good. You know what? Let me give it to the DJ who's busy out there now. Let him rock this at the roller skating rink, the next youth event, the next convention, the next this, the next that, and let him report to me what the feedback was. You know? Then I know, you know what? This could stay on my CD. People are feeling it. But we're not doing that. You know, we're waiting until the last second. Walter, wait. When this drops, I'm going to give you the CD. It's not ready yet. And then when you get it, it's like, I don't like any of the songs. I can't play it.
It's like sometimes I'll get a song, you know, and then when I'm listening to it in the car, like, I barely hear the kick. And I'm like, you know, it's a hot song. Unfortunately, I'm not going to use it because...
You have to remix it already. You haven't even played it once, right?
I have to throw somebody else's beat over it and make a mashup or something. But
well, hey, at least you can do that. But if we listen to it in the car by myself, I can't do that.
No, but that's one thing. Like, somebody will send me a song and then the production is whack. Meanwhile, the content, the beat is nice, but the same...
Do you tell them it's whack though? Do you send them a message back, tell them it's whack?
I don't tell them straight up it's whack. You know, I tell them, listen.
It's not.
I believe the cake maybe needs to be a little harder and come strong. The beat is not. I'm not feeling the beat that much.
It's too nice.
I think that's another thing. We got.
I am nice. You know, I am nice and but I tell people. Some say like I tell them they're like, can you rock this? You know, and you mix it, and I'm like, you know what? It's not going to fit in because it's, you know, it's not my style.
I mean, and that's another thing. And I know we've gone over in time. You guys forgive me, but this is good information, so we're going to go with it. I think it's important that honesty be accepted in this market. You know, if Jason gave me his CD tonight and said, Bert, listen to this and give me your honest feedback, I'm expecting for him to respect and accept whatever I tell him. Doesn't mean that I have the final opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's my opinion. Right. If I tell him, I wasn't feeling this track, that one was good, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, the hook sounds corny, this sounds that, or whatever, then okay, respect it as my opinion. But most times people just want you to say it's good. They don't want to hear that.
Man, yeah.
You know, and they're going to say, well, it's already done. You know, and I've had some people say, Bert, I want you to give me some advice on my new project. Sure. But I'm thinking they're going to tell me before it's done.
Yeah.
You know, after it's done, I can't advise you anything except I hope you sell a lot. You know, because if I don't like it, I can't tell you anything. If I do like it, I could tell you, but it's not going to benefit you anyway because it's already pressed, it's mastered, it's ready to go. I mean, that's if they even master it. You know, nowadays they don't even do that. Just do it on their own, just record it. But
would you rather artists do that to you, though?
Huh?
Would you want artists to go and ask you, hey, I got a product, I want you to check it over? Or do you think they would? Or do you think they would?
Artists do that to me. Artists do that.
Pride.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. You know, if we're gonna do this as a family, you know, forget the secular market. I don't expect, you know, one label to go to another label asking them what they think. That's foolish, right? But we're different, or are we different? I don't think we are. We're trying to mimic what the world is doing, and we're failing drastically. We don't have that. You know, I'm not sitting in a booth rapping with superstar engineers and A&R people at a table listening to everything coming out of my mouth so they can edit and write it down. I'm going quietly into my vocal booth in my house with the phone and making it, thinking I'm all cool, recording, not letting anybody else hear it except my family because they're forced to hear it because they're living in the house. Then I'm pressing it, I'm sending it to disc makers on my own, I'm putting it out there. I hope you like it. It's too late now. You don't ask for a response. At that point, it's too late. Yeah. Our accountability partners musically is very limited. You know, I've had a lot of CDs come into my mailbox and my inbox saying, Bert, check this out. I hope you love it. It's crazy. We did this, that. And I was like, did you put it out already? Okay. I had no response for you. Yeah. I can't do anything. It's too late. You know, and again, it's only me. You know, I'm not the final authority on it, but I think it's fair to ask people that you trust. If you don't trust me, trust somebody else. You know, go to another artist. And we don't go to another artist because, I mean, you said the word pride because, oh, he's going to steal my ideas. What are we doing? Are we doing kingdom business or are we competing, you know, we back to Biggie, Tupac, you know? And I think that's where we go. If we're trying to mimic the world, we're failing drastically, we should stop.
We got to be original.
Be original. And if you are mimicking the world, let's step your game up because they're rocking.
Artists don't want to hear criticism.
No, exactly. Well, that's kind of what he said because of pride.
In their head, they're phenomenal.
Yeah, this is my drum right here.
But they suck. The reality is that they suck. Production suck. Lyrics suck.
If you want your next album to be reviewed, send it to Rapfest.
Alice at Rapfest.
Alice at Rapfest.com.
We gotta get her on Twitter. We gotta get her.
But it's true.
It's true.
I mean, it really sounds harsh and it makes it sound like Simon Cowell, this horrible person. But it's true. But it's true. It's true.
No, it's true. And let me tell you, and I know it's your interview, but this is all related to the whole DJ and the music stuff. There was an artist, I won't mention the name, I'm being really nice by not mentioning the name on this, but there was a ministry that was putting together a project. And before they put the project together, they're like, Bert, would you help us? I said, sure, what kind of help you want? No, we want to just send you stuff so you can hear it and tell us what you think. And when I told them what I thought... I don't know who it is. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say, you would have mentioned it and it was right, I would say yes, them. Don't start guessing now. Don't start guessing now. But what happened was they didn't like the response that I gave them, so they never sent me anything else. Then when the project dropped, they asked me for my opinion. So I was brutally honest with them and told them from track 1 to track 10 what I thought of each track. And they were not really excited with the response. And they said, wow, you came in on pretty hard on me. So, well, you kind of asked for my advice before and never came back to me to follow through, so I have to give you my advice now. I know you can't do anything, but if you would have asked me, this is what I would have said before, probably. You know, and I don't do it to criticize or bash. I'm not saying I'm the best or whatever. Like I keep saying, I'm not the final authority. But when you're asking for someone's opinion, you can't do it after the project is done. We're a bigger family than that. There's no need for you as a DJ to come up with a mixtape and then after it comes out, you start asking people what you think. You know, there's enough people that One Accord DJs could review it first or check it out. You know, if Conquest is dealing with all these producers, guys, they should listen to it and not just yes somebody, you know, because they're part of your camp. You know, take it outside your camp. Test it with a couple of people. Test it with your youth group. Test it with the young adults. Test it with your church. You know what I'm saying? But again, if we're mimicking the world, we're doing a bad job.
Yeah, no, but it's like you said before, like, why would you ask and then, expect a particular answer? Don't ask and listen. ask and listen, and then go back and fix either. And if you even if you did do what they did and say, oh well, we put it out already,
they don't want
you still gotta listen and take the, you know.
You don't want to hear the.
I told someone recently online, and I think I told Justin about this. Someone sent us some music, and I said, you know what? Honestly, I'm not feeling it. You know, and they were gonna like automatically. They were like, all right, well, you know, that's nice. You know, we don't have to continue. I'm like, but that's it. Like, you want? I'm giving you my opinion.
That's just one.
You know, I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not saying you can't come on the show. I'm not saying, you know, I don't have the last word. Like, but I just want you to know it's not my style, and I think it could be better. You know, it has potential. You know, but in the end, you have to be honest.
You have to be. I mean,
but you have to accept that honesty. You can't. That's the pride. You got to be able to kill.
Walter
that.
has to be
You're
honest.
Not going to get anywhere.
He's a DJ. He has to be honest. He's not going to go to an event and play just anything they give you, right? You want to play something that you're confident that if you had to walk away while people are eating and they're listening to this, they're going to eat and not be throwing up or whatever. You know, like, yo, that sounds hot. You know, and I mean, and that's a big responsibility.
My thing is, if I'm working on, you know, on a set, if the song you sent me doesn't fit in with production wise, if it's not going to complement the song, the previous song, I can't put it in. You know.
Sure.
You know, I got to keep the energy up there, because then this song's going to sound so nice, you know, like industry, you know, and then you're going to give me a song that sounds you made it in the basement in 5 minutes, you know. Nah,
yeah, I mean, again, we definitely have to step up our game. That's one, you know, production wise. And again, I know people will fight me on this forever. It's not always about the money, because if you make a hot enough track without the money, the resources for everything will show up.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna open their eyes and say, "Yo, that dude did that in his house with no money, or that dude did that in this studio with little resources. Let's take him now and push him to the next level."
Yeah. Like this is a great example right here. Andy Mineo. Before he blew up, I met him at this concert I was DJing. And you know, he gave me a couple of songs, but I liked the content, but the production was whack. I mean, I was like, well, you know, I want to add it to one of my mixes, but it's not really fitting in. But he connected with the right people and came out with look where he is now.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, that's God's grace also, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we had Andy on one of the Rap Fest present CDs and Jesus Over Hip Hoppers. Yeah, he killed it. It cost zero to do. You know, because it can be done. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I had another question from the chat room. I know we're like crazy over. Do you have any children?
Yeah, I have 6 children. And I have
I was gonna be like, yo, wait, we didn't talk about this last time.
You didn't hear the laughing about.
I have a boy and a girl.
I was like, yeah, that I remember now.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, again, we appreciate you coming out, and we know that
for having me.
The job of a DJ is very difficult, but I'm also putting a lot of responsibility on the artists and calling out to them and saying, you know, use the DJs as your test market. You know, send it to the DJs. If the DJ responds saying, sorry, it doesn't fit my style, hey, that's one DJ. Send it to another. Or try to get with the One Accord. I'm sure One Accord is looking for music all the time, you know, to send out to the DJs.
You can send it to oneaccordDJs.com. I mean, I'm sorry, oneaccordDJs@gmail.com. You can send them your singles, acapellas, your instrumentals.
Yeah, send it to them, and you'll know. I mean, that's the best test market.
We have a critique form that when you send us the single, what they do is that they'll attach the critique form and then they send it to every DJ. Nice. So we'll listen to the track and then we rate it from I think 1 to 5 and then rate it on the production on everything.
Does One Accord send that back to the artist?
Yeah, and they send it back to the artist with every DJ's.
That's what we're talking about. You know, so you don't have to hear from me. Hear from the guys that are gonna play your music. Jason had something he wanted to mention real quick.
Yo, explain to artists why it's important to send the single, the acapella, and the instrumental, because that's a hard thing to explain
to DJs.
For DJs, yeah, like why is that important?
Why is it important? Because let's say for me personally, if you send me an acapella and the instrumental, right, and the beat you put over your song is not really,
doesn't work.
It's not working for me. I can remix it, and then somebody else, I'll put it out there, and then they'll listen to it. But then, they'll search you as an artist, and then they'll get to the original, and they might love the original. you know. So that's the way I see it, you know.
But it also gives you something to play with, too.
Something to play with,
so you can do that's what the DJ's creative with, mixing in the acapella over some other beat or whatever, you know. That makes a lot of sense.
But it's important because I don't know, it just opens up more to your single. It opens more doors, I believe.
Amen. Amen. Listen, we spoke to him for like 40 minutes here, and I tell you, he looks like he's brutally honest with his critique. I suggest you check out DJ Tranzformed. Send him your music. You know, not that he's gonna, you know, trash you on the review, but at least he'll give you some information, his feedback. You know, and again, it's really important. Reach out to those DJs: Wado, Sean Blue, Newman, Tranzformed, and so on. There's so P-Dog. P-Dog's mixtape is great. You heard his last mixtape in the mix? Yeah, it's good stuff, man. He got some good music. Well, the music itself on it is really good, so that helps a lot too. But reach out to the DJs, artists, and you know, and support them by sending them music, or go to oneaccorddjs@gmail.com. Send them music, or One Accord DJs. Look for them online. See how you could get involved. If you are a DJ, want to get involved, do that as well. One Accord, please send me a check for the promo. No, I'm kidding. Man, that's it. You have anything else you want to ask?
No,
I think he's got some good stuff, some great information. I can't wait for feedback on this. If you have any feedback, make sure you hit us up, rapfestradio@gmail.com, or call us 805-727-3378, which is 805-RAPFest. So check it out. We went over. What do I play? I think I'm going to go to the video.
The Righteous.
Huh? The video? Oh, we're going to go to the Hit the Floor video.
Okay.
Hit the Floor by Bryants. Yo.
Oh, that joint is crazy.
The next video mix.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Bryants, you heard that? The DJ said it's good. Yo, check it out. This is Bryants, Hit the Floor here at Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. Make sure you tune in next week, Monday, from 8 to 9 p.m. right here on Rapfest Radio. That's it for tonight. Thanks, Conquest. Thanks, DJ Tranzformed. Thank you, everybody. Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. You will learn us because we are out of control. Peace. See you next week.
Do not wear tube socks and church shoes.
Leave that alone.
You get off of me, okay? You two, don't take up for him. Do not take up for him.
Wait a minute, what's that?
YOLO, look!
Stop calling me YOLO.
Look, gosh, look at me. Hey, give it back!
Let's go. Let's see.
Ladies first!
No.
Ooh.
Oh no. No other heroes. I'ma do the other part. Just let me freestyle this. Little freestyle in the. Let's go. Yo. I come back just God again with a freestyle post that you out of scene. From the 12 discipling, trying to be like God's recycling. Rowdy Christian rioting, trying to save you from the flesh spiraling. Lose your sin, start dieting, and follow Jesus, he piloting. Yeah. That's how you start a song off. Middle's on flow. Let's go. This is what we gonna do right now. You got about 10, 9, 8 seconds to get on the floor. Rep your God, rep your city, rep Jesus Christ. Here we go. Princess. Yo, I walk in the room and like who that is. Can it change lives? That's my biz. Being a biz, so that's his biz. The boys on the block like flip this wheel. Oh yes I did, look what I flipped it did. Give my foot to heaven, so yeah that's big. I used to rap for the devil, got another kid. Take a rap out the green, shovel the dig. I'm about to take it back like Sig Black. Rep the big cross like Sig Zag. Dead man walking no toe tag. Free salvation, no price tag. Come on, the boy got a shield, boy got a sword, got blessed store. So the boy got the Lord. Store got boy with the word record. Yeah, got my vocals, let the lion real. Got you in the dance for 9 cents. We ain't gon' tell you get rich and live fast. We might tell you to go on and fast. Turn your play over, listen to God. Switch up your friends, change up your squad. If y'all ain't going to the same place, say peace. Can't two walk together, let's they agree. I'ma take it back like a kid and play. Used to have a high top kid and play. I had to cut it off like my old sin. Old girlfriend, I can't call again. try to walk away, no review. Beat me on the dance floor if he save you. I'm a straight like no curfew.